welcome back to another episode of the What Was That podcast. I'm Jazzy.
And I'm Addi.
We're on our third episode of the Halloween season, and we decided to take a twist and turn in a direction that we haven't headed before.
Ooh, like twists and turns like a roller coaster?
Exactly. As we know, amusement parks are made for amusement.
But what happens when screams of adrenaline and fun turn into screams of terror?
Let's take a trip to Fright Fest.
I almost said fun turned to screams of terror. Princess, why are you screaming? This is supposed to be fun, Princess. I didn't take you to be scared. Only a little bit, because I did want you to jump into my big honking arms.
I'm so strong and brave. You don't need to be scared, Princess.
And let me know if my neck beard tickles your head a little bit.
Tickle, tickle.
Let me hold you in my big comfort man arms.
The miladification of us.
By the end of this, we're literally just wearing fedoras and we have neck beards.
Story 1. That abandoned amusement park in West Virginia that's straight up cursed. There's this place in West Virginia called Lake Shawnee Amusement Park, and it's got one of the creepiest backstories I've ever heard. It's been abandoned since the 80s, but people still talk about the weird stuff that happens there. The land it sits on has a violent past. Back in 1785, a settler named Mitchell Clay lost 3 of his kids, 2 were killed by Native Americans, and the 3rd was captured and burned at the stake. Clay and some others retaliated by killing several Native Americans. So yeah, not exactly peaceful ground to build on. Fast forward to 1926, when a guy named Conley? Mm-hmm. Conley Snitto. That sounds real. Decided to open an amusement park there. It had all the usual stuff. A Ferris wheel, a swing ride, even a swimming pool. But accidents started piling up. 2 kids drowned in the pool, and in 1966, a little girl died on the swing ride after a delivery truck backed into it. The park shut down in 1967 after failing a health inspection. In the 80s, a former employee named Gaylord White bought the land and tried to reopen the park. But just after 1 season, it closed again. Insurance costs were too high. Then things got even weirder. White's crew started digging for a new attraction and found Native American artifacts and human remains. Archaeologists eventually uncovered 13 skeletons, mostly kids. Now, people say the place is haunted. Visitors report hearing children's laughter when no one's around, and some have seen apparitions near old rides. The swing ride where the girl died is still standing, rusted and motionless, but some swear they've seen it move on its own. The park's been featured in a bunch of ghost hunting shows. They all say the same thing. Something's not right about that place. If you're into haunted spots, Lake Shawnee is open for guided tours during the Halloween season. Just don't take anything from the site. People who've pocketed souvenirs have reported bad luck until they return them. The creepiest part? Some say the spirits of those buried have never left. It isn't even the scariest one on Hauntopedia, and that says a lot. Hauntopedia, what's that?
I don't know, but that sounds fun.
It's like Wikipedia for spooky.
For spooky. Okay.
Spooky.
That is spooky. I do not like big swing rides because I do think about, like, what if one of the seats just kind of fell off and you're like, bye.
Yeah, that's the end of that. Yeah.
Like, kind of thing. But a lot of mistakes happen on swing rides, believe it or not. Mm-hmm. Like, I feel like every time I hear anything about an amusement park, like something messing up, it's 8 out of 10 times a swing ride.
Yeah.
And I know at the amusement park I worked at here, the swing ride that would go up very, very high in the sky would get stuck all the time.
That sounds awful.
All the time. Yeah. So imagine you're in a little swing ride and you are in a chair dangling from chains.
Yeah. No.
200 feet off the ground.
No.
Or however tall they are. I feel like it's like 200 feet, right?
Yeah.
I don't know. It's like 15 stories or something.
Really
goddamn
high.
Yeah,
too goddamn high.
to be up in the sky, dangling in a little chair. Your feet are just...
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
I'd have a heart attack, which is why I, like, don't go on them.
Yeah, they give me the heebie-jeebies. Because, like, even a ski lift gives me the heebie-jeebies. And that's a little more predictable to me. Because it goes at, like, the same speed.
Yeah.
Right?
The whole time.
A little more consistent. Instead of going, like...
Yeah.
Also, I've never actually been on a swing ride because they scare me.
Yeah. I have been on... At the Six Flags in Texas, they have a swing ride, and it's called, like, the shotgun, the revolver, something like that. Like, you know,
Yeehaw.
Texas, always gun themed.
Yeah.
But it's short. It doesn't take you off the ground at all. Like, you're not, like, getting lifted into the sky. You are, it starts going, and it, like, lowers the floor a little bit, so that way you're not, like, gonna drag on the floor.
Yeah.
But it lowers the floor a little bit, and then you just, like, spin, and you're still at ground level.
Yeah.
So you're not going up. And I loved that ride as a kid. As an adult, with self-preservation skills, I'm like, I still wouldn't go on it.
No.
Because, again, it snaps off, and you...
Yeah. I get really nauseous.
Yeah, I do
spinny
too.
things. So
Yeah.
it's just, it was never like a merry-go-round. You could fuck up my day with a merry-go-round.
I just think, every time I think of merry-go-rounds, I just think of Cassie off of Euphoria. I'll never look at a merry-go-round the same way again.
Really weird of her to do.
You know...
Objectively, if you're, like, standing at... Like, I get how it happened.
Yeah, I was like, she was on... drugs.
She was on drugs.
Yeah, so she's like not really
She didn't mean to do it.
Still weird.
If as a bystander, I'd be like, is
Hey.
she fucking the horse?
Yeah. Does anybody else see that? Anybody else? And she's like,
Yeah. And you know what? Like,
you like turn around to your friends. You're like,
are you guys seeing that?
did she just?
It's like, Jeffrey, we're actually not going to go on that. We're going to go on another ride.
Do you think they extra sanitize that afterwards?
Not enough. And, like, I know it was... If I did that and my sister put it in a play, I would be fighting my sister.
Oh, yeah. I'd never talk to my sister ever again.
No.
Ever again. I'd be like, hey, that was really traumatizing for me after the fact. I was on drugs, so I know.
Yeah.
But,
now, did I laugh when it happened in the show? Absolutely.
yeah, because it's not happening to you, you know? I do forget that theme parks were a thing that long ago. To me, I feel like theme parks were, like, a more recent venture. Like, 1950s, 1960s, and on. Not 1920s.
Oh, yeah. So, like the book we read.
Yeah, but that's not a theme park. That's a circus. It's a carnival.
Yeah.
So they're not like...
Did they have rides in there? They didn't go on any of the rides. They were too busy trying not to be murdered.
Yeah.
So a little distracted.
And I feel like they had, like... I know they had a carousel. Mm-hmm. But that could have been, like, a newer... attraction, you know, that they added. But most of the time it's like circus performers and stuff like that. So
Not so much. Less amusement.
Yeah. Well, you still get
Someone's
amusement,
amused,
but
yeah.
no rides.
Yeah.
No themes for the park.
Yeah.
Besides circus.
I do like a more like permanent establishment amusement park.
Yeah,
Like
I'm
the
not
traveling.
No, you will never ever. I mean, I don't go to amusement parks anyway anymore because of how much I've learned about them over my jobs. But fairs, like little traveling fairs, state fairs, county fairs, you will not ever catch me on a ride.
Yeah.
Ever. Ever, ever, ever. Obviously, when I was younger, yes, self-preservation instincts of a fart. Like,
Just gone in the wind.
Yeah, no, it's, I did not care if I lived or died. I don't even think I clicked in my head that that's something that could happen. But now, knowing, again, everything that I know about all of the rides, seeing everything that I've seen, you couldn't pay me. You couldn't pay me to do it. Did you see the video the other day of at a fair? You know that the kamikaze ride where you like get into, it's like a little cabin, not cabin, but like it's a little like pod.
Okay.
You get into a pod and you sit down and they buckle you in, and the whole front of the pod is like a grate, right?
Okay.
And they are on these almost conveyor belts. And so like it's like a big oblong thing.
Yeah.
And there are a bunch of little pods along the oval. Mm-hmm. And they rotate.
Okay.
Right? The pods like rotate on the oval. Then those ovals rotate as well. Yeah. So
no, I would throw up.
And usually there's like two next to each other too. So they're like that kind of thing. Yeah. So there was something happened the other day where it broke and those pods just kind of like crash on top of each other.
Yeah. Like, I'm not an engineer, but my thought would be, what if?
Yeah. Yeah. So I can't remember if anybody got hurt or anything, but
yeah.
Yeah.
And
and
spooky.
There's also that ride that you like get in and it's a row of seats, and then that row of seats gets like picked up and taken around town. Mm-hmm. That kind of ride. Yeah. I've seen that one like down to the ground. People got real hard on that one.
Do you imagine how bad your tailbone would hurt?
Oof. Imagine
if you still
how bad your legs would hurt.
Yeah.
Your legs were dangling.
Legs gone.
Yeah. There's also the ride, the big UFO spinny thing.
Yeah, I don't
one's
like
messed
those,
up.
Yeah.
There's lots that can go wrong.
Yeah. I love an established parks roller coaster, which I know that's sketchy too. But yeah, I like a roller coaster more than like something that's just gonna spin me around in circles.
Yeah.
And make me want to throw up.
Yeah. I'm not gonna trust anything that they set up within a day or two.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, it needs to be there all the time.
With an established maintenance worker that's constantly checking on said ride.
Yeah.
This does remind me of the amusement park that's here, not the one that I worked at, but the other one.
Yeah.
When I first moved here, I thought that place was abandoned. That's
fair.
So run down.
Yeah. I didn't know it was open until like...
Yeah. I was literally driving by it, and I was like, oh, that would be really cool to like walk around there because it looks so spooky.
Yeah.
Like it looks so run down and so beat to shit. Like it looks like nobody's touched this park in 30 years. Yeah. Like it looks like it's stuck in time.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's so cool. I would love to go like allegedly break in and and walk around. Like it'd be a really cool place to urban explore essentially. And the season started at the other theme park, and then I started seeing signs that were like amusement park hiring now, like for the 2021 season.
Yeah.
And I was like, huh?
It's open?
The place operates?
Yeah. It is rickety looking.
I
wouldn't want to go on any of the rides.
No. They have that adult night where all you can drink. Mm-hmm. I'm like, that's probably the only way you could get me on a ride there is if I'm absolutely obliterated.
It would take one thing and one thing only to bring up Bettina in this episode. Bettina calling me a little bitch and being like, come on, let's go.
Nothing like peer pressure to get you motivated.
She's been doing it since I was 13.
I can empathize.
And it still works.
Yeah, I can empathize because anytime Sarah like looks at me and like bats her pretty little eyes, I'm like, okay.
Yeah. So I guess I have to.
Yeah. I'm not going to say no to you, so.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would love to go to this little place. If we ever in the future start traveling for our podcast, if you guys keep liking, commenting, and subscribing.
Yeah.
Maybe one day we'll get big like the other podcasts and we'll go on a tour and we can go to West Virginia and we can stop by this amusement park.
All these little pieces. There's only going to be one song on the playlist. I bet you know what it is.
I hate I mean, I don't hate it because obviously it's a really horrible part of history, but I hate whenever there's like a scary story and people are like, it's because of the Native Americans.
Yeah. I'm like, how did we get to, like, what happened before that? How did we get to there? Have you considered that?
Yeah, they're always like, it's a Native American Indian, or like burial ground. I'm like, why is it always the start? Why is that like the pick for you guys?
Yeah, it's like you realize there's things that happened like before that, right?
Yeah, that like happened that like might have irritated or made people retaliate in a way because they felt like their like livelihoods and their families and their homes were at stake or anything like that.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, weird how that happens.
Super crazy how when you commit a genocide, people get mad about it.
Yeah, it's wild.
Ew.
Story 2. Terrifying experience sneaking into Playland amusement park at 1 a.m. When 2 of my friends and I were juniors at SUNY Purchase College back in 2018, we decided to sneak into Playland Park in Rye, New York. One of the friends of mine grew up in Rye and had done it many times before, so while I was nervous about getting arrested for trespassing, I felt a little bit reassured that the park wasn't very well monitored at night. At around 1 a.m., we drove and parked our car next to a large fence and attempted to scale it. It was rather difficult and required us to step on each other's hands to get over, which gave me intense anxiety about how we were planning to get all 3 of us back over the fence on the way out. After both of my friends got over the fence, I attempted to chicken out and wait in the car, but finally decided to join, and after several minutes of struggling, I made it over the fence on my own, and we began walking while lighting up a joint. It was pitch black at this point, and almost all the lights in the park were off. We approached the water flume ride, which went up about 100 to 150 feet, and then dropped into a steep slope. Along the side of the ride was a staircase for technicians and employees, which my friends decided to climb for a better view. At this point, I chickened out and decided to stay at the bottom because of a fear of heights. As they ascended the stairs, I looked out across the park and noticed something very strange. We weren't alone. Several hundred feet from us was a pond with what appeared to be a small boat or raft inside, and 4 or so people riding inside with flashlights attached to their heads. What was even stranger was the fact that there were 2 dark figures swimming in the pond looking for something underneath the water. It's like National Treasure. I could barely make out the silhouettes of these figures, but after a few minutes, I noticed that they would see us and began mobilizing the boat in our direction. I frantically started whisper screaming to my friends, who were all the way at the top of the water ride and could barely hear me. At this point, the boat had finally reached land, and the little lights on their helmets were heading in our direction fast. My friends finally raced down the stairs, and we began sprinting as fast as we could down a boardwalk that was dimly lit, and back towards the way we came. As we sprinted down the long, straight boardwalk, I realized that we were completely visible and started to accept the reality of being caught/arrested. We somehow rounded a corner, got back to the fence, and climbed over safely, hopping into our car and dipping immediately. I couldn't believe that we didn't get caught, as the figures chasing us were no more than a few hundred feet away when they spotted us. Still to this day, I wonder why the hell there were people swimming around in a pond at an amusement park at 1:30 a.m. My friend told me that kids had drowned in that pond before, making me wonder if they were searching for a body. I googled any article I could find, but to no avail. Me and my 2 friends are still totally puzzled by this experience and can't think of a very logical explanation. Just thinking about it now gives me chills.
You want to know what I think it was? A bunch of goofy friends going to an amusement park at like 1 a.m. They got their little raft, they got their headlamps on, and someone just like dropped their phone or some shit. Mm-hmm. And like Chet and Brett are like, oh yeah, don't worry, I'll just like swim down and get it for you, babe. And then they see someone there, they're like, oh, let's go talk to those guys. Maybe they can help us or something.
Yeah. Or they thought the same thing. They were like, oh, there are people here and they can see us.
Yeah.
And we need to get to shore because right now we're in the middle of a pond out in the open like sitting ducks.
Yeah.
And we need to get out of here too.
Yeah.
And that's probably why they didn't run into each other, because they probably went in complete different directions. They're like, okay, I see them running that way. We need to go this way.
Yeah.
I did see, so there's a couple comments that like do make sense. Somebody said it sounds like a rescue team was training for a nighttime underwater search and rescue recovery.
Yeah.
That could be it. Somebody else said, what a great way to hide something. The bottom of a pond and in an unused amusement park with no nighttime monitoring. If it were the cops, they probably would have lit the place up to search for the body. But that would be something. I don't know. That is interesting that we're in an amusement park that didn't have any security, because every amusement park I've ever worked at has like, oh, I can't even say that. No, I was like, they have really decent security. Like, if you walk through, they have like motion sensors and lights and stuff that if you like walk through a certain area, like that whole area gets lit up. And then like the security guards who are there overnight are like, hey, all those lights are lit up. Like, we should go over there.
You teenagers, get out of here.
Yeah, and there are some amusement parks I've worked at that even have, like, full alarms the second it senses motion, you know, in certain areas. But, like, the one that I worked at here, like I told you, I think I told you on the podcast before about a woman broke into this park, climbed to the top of the observation tower, and then jumped off said observation tower. And she was not, there was, like, they're like, I don't know how she got in or how she got all the way over there. And it's like, interesting. So, obviously it's not that well surveilled.
There are holes. Clearly.
Yeah, somebody needs to take a walk through the park at night and figure out where these holes are, because otherwise people can get in and do stuff. Yeah. So.
Yeah, because I imagine an amusement park is going to be a popular place to try to break into.
Yeah, I mean,
because it's going to be sick.
Yeah, exactly. You go into an amusement park, especially, like, it's off season, it's spooky, nobody's there. There are, like, tales of it being somewhat haunted. Yeah. Like, I'm going to want to go in, you know? Like, that's going to be a cool place to explore and try to find some sort of activity going on.
Yeah, just to check it out. And it's very, like, I don't know, I'm sure it's for a lot of people because there's a lot of urban exploration, but going into man-made places that are abandoned has, like, an extra creepy edge to it.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, you can, like, explore the woods and stuff, but
there's something different about, like, somebody setting the intention to build something and then just abandon it all. Yeah. And I think that's, like, part of the scariest part. Like, all the ghost towns that there are in Colorado, like, it's really eerie going to these places and being like, why did they build all of this? Right. Just to leave. Right. Like, they spent years and years and years setting up these homes, setting up these businesses. Yeah. And then in a blink of an eye, they're gone. And nobody can really figure out why they're gone. Yeah. Like, there's a little ghost town that we went to when we went camping last year in the fall. And it's like, it's a pretty good hike away from a lot of stuff. Like, the only way to get to it is, because there's no road that goes into it. You have to hike all the way around a lake to get to it. I know
where you're talking about. Yeah. I wanted to go there. Is it cool?
It's very cool. Okay. Where you, like, take a boat across the lake to get to it. But, yeah, you get out there, and it's these, like, they're pretty decent-sized houses, right? Like, one of the houses we went into, it was, like, fully built. There were bedrooms, there was a living room, there was a fireplace, there was a place that you could tell, like, it was a bathroom. I mean, it's, like, before they had flushing toilets, it's just a room with a hole in a... Yeah, but it's a room inside the house. It's not like an outhouse, you know?
Very rich people.
Yeah, and it's, like, it had, like, a third story that was, like, this, like, boxed-in glass room where you can just, like, look out at everything. But it's these buildings that these people spent so much time taking care of and building, and there weren't that many. I mean, there's, like, 10 buildings total, I feel like. But they just left. Like, they were, like... There's no point in living on this side of the lake, kind of thing.
We're done.
Yeah, and that's always so weird to go to these towns that are completely abandoned. And I mean, some have reasons, right? So you have the town that's in Pennsylvania that has that, like, basically active...
Yeah.
It's a volcano, right?
It's
or
something
something
that's coming out of the...
I think it's sulfur, like, constantly coming out of the ground. Sulfur Town.
Pennsylvania.
It's not called...
No, they're just like... Are you talking about Philadelphia? Because it's stinky, basically. Okay, AI.
Though there's, like, the abandoned town in Pennsylvania. It's on fire. It's Centralia.
That's what it is.
Yeah, so it's a abandoned coal town, and, like, basically all underneath is, like, on fire. But yes, it's smoke and sulfuric gases are constantly, like, coming up from underground. Yeah. So, like, that one makes sense to leave, right? Because, like, it's not habitable.
Yeah, that fire in the coal mine that's causing this started in 1962. My mom's entire lifespan, this fire has been going on.
Yeah.
That is insane.
It's where they based
like a turkey.
They based Silent Hill off of this town because of how spooky it is. Because it's constantly, like, foggy because of all the smoke and the gases that are coming up.
Interesting. I didn't know that.
Yeah, so that's where Silent Hill's based on.
So never going there. Got it. Unless we get more likes, comments, and subscribers.
We go there for a little urban X exploring.
Do we need a hazmat suit?
I don't think so. I mean,
we need something for our asthma.
Yeah, we need a little mask. Last night when we were going into the haunted house, there was a guy who was about to go in the lane next to us, and he had his shirt over his nose because the fog machines are going off right next to the entrance. And the guy letting people in are it was like, are you okay? And he was like, I have really bad asthma. And the guy looked at him and goes, well, you probably shouldn't go in then.
No.
And the guy was like, oh, no, I'll be fine. And just, like, had his shirt there. And we walked in, and, like, the third room is just a room full of smoke and, like, a green laser. And Quentin, like, leans in my ear, and he goes, you probably shouldn't go in then. I thought that was really funny. Because he's so right. I was like, bro.
Like, you should not go in there.
This whole place is filled with fog. That's what a haunted house is.
Yep.
Not to mention, if you went on any other night that wasn't tonight, it would also be really dusty. Because you're walking through a cornfield. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, dumb. But
I just imagine he, like, falls over. And someone walks by, is like, this haunted house is, like, really good.
They're really realistic here.
They really commit. I love this place. And he's like...
But, yeah, anyways, going back to the story.
What were we talking about?
There definitely was probably another group of people just exploring, toying about. I mean, it would be kind of fun to go out. You you have a little boat and you're like, let's go explore.
Yeah, because they came prepared. They have their headlamps on.
Yeah. And that also made me think of Phasmophobia.
Yeah.
Like, all you, like, look in the distance and you just see, like, a bunch of heads turn, but the only reason you see it because the flashlight on their head turns. Yeah. You're like, oh, shit, there are people over there.
Yeah.
But I don't know why somebody's initial reaction if they go into an amusement park in the middle of the night would be to go to the top of a flume ride.
Yeah. Okay, flume. It would not probably be. I guess you could see like an eagle eye view of the park, so I get it in that aspect.
And it's not as tall as a roller coaster, so I guess that would like also
you don't
make sense.
Go all the way up.
Yeah.
I probably would have been OP because I'm not very good at climbing over fences. But I don't like heights that much, so I'm a bit of a weenie.
Yeah, I'm the same way. One time I cut my shin in like a 4-inch gash trying to climb over a fence.
Yeah.
So now I'm like, I don't really want to climb over another fence.
I have no business doing it.
No,
I'm not
like
an athlete.
flailing about. Somebody help me!
Yeah. Well, I wasn't even trying to climb over a fence. I was climbing over bars at this like little like. It's a fun park, so they've got like putt-putt and like tiny go-karts. And I was in line for the go-karts and no one else was there. And so I just decided to like go over the bars because that's what everyone else was doing. Except I get on top of the bar and my legs are too short to touch either side. So I just very slowly fall onto the ground.
So much. They're like, ma'am, do you want help? And you're like, no, I got this.
Just lay on the ground. And we were there for a high school dance, so I was wearing a dress, and so like my dress came up, and I'm like cackling, laughing on the ground because it was dumb of me to do. My date was so embarrassed. My underwear was SpongeBob, and everyone saw it.
Awesome choice.
Yeah,
No one's gonna see
no one's gonna see it. It doesn't matter. These are comfortable.
Yeah. Man, I want some SpongeBob underwear.
They were cute.
MeUndies doesn't have SpongeBob underwear. They should get on that. Get a good collab.
Hey, MeUndies, if you want to
Not
have underwear and
not
give it to us for
sponsored.
free.
I love, again, not sponsored, I love MeUndies.
Yeah?
Like, almost all of my underwear are exclusively MeUndies.
Do you say it like a pirate in your head when you think about it?
MeUndies.
MeUndies.
No, but I will now, unfortunately.
You're welcome for
But
that.
they're so comfortable. Like,
Yeah.
they advertise them as very breathable and soft, and I will agree they are very breathable on your cooch.
Yeah.
And they're very soft.
Yeah.
So,
Not sponsored. However, I am personally sold on this.
yeah.
So MeUndies,
I love
look
MeUndies.
how good we are at advertising things.
Yeah. They constantly have sales. I like clip this and put it on TikTok and tag them. Like, we're not sponsored yet, but we would be really good sponsors.
Yeah, if there's one thing you need every day, it's a fresh pair of undies.
Sometimes twice a day.
Sometimes
I
twice a
love
day.
feeling fresh, man.
I love having fresh undies.
I do too. It's one of my favorite feelings.
Crispy
you know,
clean.
like you get up in the morning and you slide a nice pair of like soft, breathable MeUndies.
You're good at this. Give this woman a paycheck.
And you just like go about your day, and like every time you go to the bathroom, you get to like feel them, and you're like, wow, these are really soft.
Soft.
And they have really cute designs. Like, I have a dragon pair. I have a camping pair.
Cute.
I have a little serpent pair.
Yeah.
I have a little pair with, like, sheeps and moons on it.
Cute.
I have a pair with, like, little cats on it.
Yeah.
Then they have, like, seamless underwear that you
That's
can wear
nice.
underneath anything.
For your athletic apparels or your nights out.
Yeah. I have a Lord of the Rings pair.
That's funny.
Yeah. And they have different cuts, so you can get, like, bikinis, you can get high-rise, you can get boy shorts, you can get boxer.
Yeah. You want it, they got it.
Anyway.
At MeUndies.com.
Use code WWT
20.
at checkout. Don't actually, we're not sponsored. I cannot make that clear enough. I wish
we're
we did.
manifesting. What do you
We
want
are
from us?
manifesting.
If there's anything we're gonna do, it's gonna be to manifest. Story 3.
Okay.
Not amused at the amusement park. Hello, everyone. I've been a fan of Reddit for months now, but I've never shared my encounters. With that being said, let's begin. This happened when I was 16 or 17. Every year we go to an amusement park that's pretty popular where I'm from. This year, it was myself, my mom and dad, and my cousin. My mom and I had been fighting that day, so I was pretty much just wanting to be by myself for a while. It started raining, so my cousin and dad said they were going to ride one more ride and then we would head home and just go swimming there. We live about 3 to 4 hours away and it wasn't raining there. While they were riding the ride, I sat down in a picnic area at a table on the other side from where my mom was. I was sitting in my own little anger bubble and didn't even notice anyone come near my side of the picnic area. I look out the corner of my eye and notice this man just staring, not even trying to hide the fact that he's looking at my legs, up my body, and my chest. After the initial shock factor, I calmly got up and started to go where my mom was, but I didn't see her, so I walked to the concession stand at the other side of the picnic area. About 5 minutes passed. The line was super long, and I honestly was just trying to get with a group of people while searching for my mother. And I ordered a lemon shake, and finally see my mom walking towards me. I looked around after grabbing her hand and see the guy walking towards us. I start to panic a little bit, and that's just not part of my personality at all. I'm not a fearful person, and I would pretty much walk by myself anywhere at that age. But I just got a terrible feeling, and was trying to think about my next move. By the grace of God, I heard my dad yelling for my mom and I to come back because we were leaving and we saw some lightning. My dad scared him off because the man looked at my dad and then looked back at me and then went back to the picnic area. I ran to my dad and grabbed his hand so tight that he told me to loosen the grip because I was hurting him. My dad's huge. He's a 265 solid muscle. We always played the game where we would squeeze our fingers as hard as we could against the other one's finger to hurt them, and my dad never got hurt by me once. So if he said I was hurting him, then I was squeezing tight. After we got to the car, I told him what happened, and my cousin and my dad wanted to go back, but I said no, let's just go. I thought I saw him in a car as we were pulling out and follow us a little ways down the street. We were coming up to a stoplight that was turning yellow, and my dad took it, and this was close to being considered running a red light. As I looked back, I saw that the car didn't take it, so I was either paranoid that the guy was following us, but didn't feel like running a red light. For a few months, I didn't really want to go anywhere alone and had nightmares of the guy catching me alone somewhere. I've never been a drama queen, and I hope it doesn't seem like I am one or I'm a chicken, but I have strong gut feelings, and I knew the guy wasn't just wanting to chat about the weather. I hope you enjoyed the story as much as I didn't enjoy the experience. Lol.
Lol.
Lol. What a creep.
This is a pretty, like, common tactic for creepy people at amusement parks, and it's unfortunately gotten more and more common as time has gone on, and people have caught on to the fact that they can do this. But, I mean, creepy guys will go up to girls at an amusement park and just, like, take them away because it's so crowded.
Yeah.
And normally you think, oh, it's, like, crowded, so people will help me.
It's quite the opposite.
Wrong. Yeah. People see you screaming and trying to get away, and everyone just kind of, like, turns around.
Yeah.
Which is so unfortunate.
Yeah. So they figure someone else will help.
Yeah, and that's one thing. Sarah and I actually were just talking about this the other day, but there's, like, the red shirt theory or whatever it's called, where if you are in need of something, like you got into an accident or you need help, you're supposed to point at a specific person and be like, you call the police right now.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, people are going to assume that somebody else is taking care of it.
Right.
So it's like you have to make it somebody's direct job to help you, or you're not going to get help.
Yeah. Everyone's going to assume, oh, yeah, someone else is
taking
doing
care
this.
of that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because if you're like, somebody call the cops, like, people are going to be like,
Did
you
got
do
it?
Did you
I
do
didn't
it? Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, you have to be like, hey, you. So, like, you're getting dragged away. Or, like, you look at somebody as, like, you're in an amusement park and you're like, hey, help me. This person behind me is not who they say they are. I need you. You right there. Eye contact. Help me.
Yeah.
So, for all of
them
you
out
listeners
specifically.
out there, if you didn't know that, be the person. be the person that helps, whether or not you think somebody else has helped or not. If somebody did not look at you or did not look at anybody else and say a specific person, be the person.
Right. Yeah.
Because nobody else
assume that no one else is doing it and
exactly.
do it.
Yeah.
Because I'm sure first responders would rather have
multiple calls
than no calls.
Exactly.
And if you're not, there's always non-emergency dispatch, which I do say you should have in your phone anyway in case something comes up.
Yeah.
And you're like, okay, this isn't, no one's dying, but this is something weird.
Yeah, this is something that needs to be documented at least.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, this is something that they put in a lot of, the wind is winding.
It is, yeah.
This is something that they've put in a lot of, like, true crime shows. Like, Criminal Minds has an episode where they go to a carnival and their kid gets stolen. There are I'm sure plenty of other instances where this is portrayed, but it's a scary world. My mom used to drop me off at Six Flags in the summer when I was a kid because we had season passes and we had meal plans. So she would drop me and my sister off in the morning and be like, I'll pick you up later. Huh. And we would go around the amusement park all day by ourselves because, like, we had breakfast, lunch, and dinner already planned for us. Like, we could go anywhere in the park and get our food.
Yeah.
We got one snack. We get drinks, you know, like.
Yeah. Honestly, as a kid, awesome.
As a kid, looking back.
Someone who could be a mother.
Yeah.
I'd be so stressed.
Yeah. But it's like one of those things that you don't really think about until it happens, you know?
Right.
So now, like, looking back, I'm sure with how many events there has been in that time span, like, I'm sure my mom would never. But,
Right,
but like,
yeah.
back then, you don't think
Times
about
have
it.
changed.
Yeah. So, I mean, again, another gut feeling.
Yeah, trust your gut. Better to trust your gut and get yourself out of there than gaslight yourself to sit and then
Something happen.
Because, like, no matter what, you're a teenager and this grown adult man is just, like, obviously checking you out. So, yeah, get out of there.
Yeah.
No matter what his, like, intentions were.
Yeah.
Get out
And
of
there's
there.
not, like, any harm in it either. Like, okay, so what? He gets embarrassed or, like, he gets, like, flustered. Like, you don't owe him anything.
Right.
He's being a fucking weirdo checking you out. Like,
Exactly.
if you make him uncomfortable. And that's where I think part of being a woman is so hard. Sorry, male listeners. But it's always, like, performative in
Right.
the case of, oh, I don't want to hurt their feelings.
Right.
Or I don't want to cause a scene. Or I don't want to, like, make somebody else uncomfortable because who knows, maybe, like, he's not actually doing anything wrong. Like,
Yeah.
okay, maybe he's not. That's not really your responsibility to, like, care about how he's
Right.
feeling. If
Yeah.
if he didn't want to be embarrassed, he shouldn't be looking at you like that.
Right.
If he didn't want to be uncomfortable and, like, made to feel uncomfortable, he shouldn't be looking at you like
Right.
that.
It's like, okay, fuck how I feel. I just have to swallow that so I don't make you feel uncomfortable. So I don't hurt
Exactly.
your feelings,
Yeah.
even though you're the one putting these things on me.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's like that unfortunate aspect too of, like, always having to be nice because you're scared of how somebody else will react.
Right.
Like, there's too many stories about women saying no to a guy's advances and them getting hurt
Right.
because they said no.
Yeah. There was a guy who was, like, punching a woman and beating her up, and there was a bunch of other guys just watching it happen. Mm-hmm. It's like, hello?
Yeah.
Like, you all think this is fine?
Yeah, there was that story like a month ago, like that really, really sad story of that woman who was on a train.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
Uh-huh.
that guy, like, stabbed her in the neck but from behind. And, like, there's a video of it, and everyone just, like, looks.
Yeah.
Nobody does anything. Like, nobody runs over to check on her.
Right.
Like, she's, like, there's blood, like, gushing down, and,
Yeah.
like, there's a woman sitting right next to her, and she just gets up and walks and moves to another seat.
That's insane.
Like,
yeah.
do we not care about anyone anymore? Like,
Yeah. I've been thinking about signing up for first aid classes. Because I've been in scenarios, like, I was at Costco with my mom, and my mom, like, knows first aid. She was in the military. She, like, knows how to do a lot of stuff. But there was a guy who had a seizure, like, dropped to the ground, and both of our instincts, there's a lot of people there who had the same instinct, like, ran toward him. There were nurses there, so everyone, like, helped him, and he was
Yeah.
okay. But I'm like, okay, I ran towards the scenario, but I don't know what to do when I get here.
yeah.
So,
First aid is always, like, good knowledge to have. Again, survival instincts of a fart.
Yeah.
Like, I can't help anyone. The most I can do is pick up my phone and call for help.
solid.
I know CPR.
That's good. Yeah, staying alive.
That's about the only thing.
Yeah.
I actually heard somebody was like, the new CPR song instead of "Staying Alive" is "Golden."
I saw that too. Just imagine you, like, low-key crying.
Yeah, you have to, like, what is it? It's yeah, something be great about.
Yeah.
But that's all I know. I don't know anything else. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know.
I know how to
help.
do Heimlich maneuver. I know how
yeah,
to
I know
do EpiPen.
I think you stick it in
Stab
their
the shit
thigh.
out of 'em.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. You have to do it with force because that's the
Yeah.
only way to, like, get it to come out.
Yeah, because there was a kid in my preschool class. He was allergic to sunflower oil and a few other things. So I had to learn how to give it. And I was so happy I never had to do it because he was, like, 3.
Yeah.
I was like, you have the littlest legs in the
That would be so
world.
traumatizing.
I don't want him
Yeah.
to do that to you, buddy.
You like break his bone. My force is so much stronger than your leg.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He had a cute little unibrow. He was so fucking cute.
Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah. Wow. Damn, that's like so crazy. I'm glad you made it out of there.
Be the change you want to see in the world.
Story 4.
Story 4. The theme park I worked at. School was finally coming to a close for the year. All around the hallways were posted signs to come and work at our town's local theme park. They must have needed workers badly, as they were allowing kids as young as 15 to sign up. I had just had my 15th birthday and figured it would be cool to have my own cash for a change instead of mooching off my parents whenever I wanted to indulge my expensive gaming habit. I grew up in a small town that didn't have many people. I was told they had installed the first stop signs on our roads when I was born. Our town's theme park was built to match. It was old, and I mean it was built in the late 1800s. It had an original wooden coaster that had to be replaced with new wood every so often. They kept it around as a tourist attraction. In fact, that was the theme of the entire park. When I was younger, all the kids in our local school would take a field trip to the park. It was not just all fun and games. They had an entire section that was basically a museum. They had flown in old buildings that pioneers had actually used shortly after their trek west. Every day, they would do reenactments in the town. They had paid actors dressed up as old-time Westerners. They would strut out onto the street from an authentic old saloon and have a fake gunfight. We, as kids, were assigned to go to each building and write down facts about the time period. This section of the park would always close earlier than the part that had the rides and the game stands. For my friends and I, it was kind of a game to try to evade the security patrols at 7 p.m. when it was closing down. They would kick everyone out and search around and make sure nobody lingered. I thought it was ridiculous. I figured they must have done that because they didn't get as much money from the attraction at night and wanted to save money by shutting it down. The interview was a breeze. There was basically a line of teenagers holding blank resumes as we were told to bring one, but none of us had any real work experience. The line ended with a bored-looking 20-something who would ask us a few questions. As long as the kid didn't sound too crazy, they would rubber stamp us into a position that needed filling. Can you hold a broom? I remember being asked. We also need someone who can mop. You don't mind working late, do you? And so I was assigned the prestigious position of mopping and cleaning as a roaming position throughout the park. That meant that each day I would find out what section of the park I would be assigned to be cleaning, and it would be anywhere. This week I was assigned swing shifts, and I walked up through the employee entrance to get my assignment card in the lobby. It read 5 p.m. to close, section 4A. Ugh, I never knew where I was going or what the sections meant. I walked up to the giant map/statue thing and started scouring it. When I tracked down the location, it was the shaded part of the park. I had never worked in a shaded area before. That's when I realized it was the Westerner section. I was excited. The Westerner section had a reputation of being one of the most laid-back areas to work. The day was typical: pretend to sweep the already dusty roads when the boss was looking, and otherwise goof off. At 7 p.m., as security was rounding everyone up, my boss got a call on his walkie-talkie. I know you're new here, but I need to go help Sharon with the ice cream machine again in 4B. He then handed me some keys and pointed at one of the old buildings. Go mop up in there, scrub everything down, and lock up. With that, he briskly walked away down the road. I remember approaching the building and inspecting it. I had never been in there, or if I had, it was on the school trip and forgot about it. I was probably just trying to fill out the assignment as fast as possible at the time so I could go on the rides with my classmates. When I entered the building, I entered into a long hallway. The hallway eventually led into an old schoolhouse. It was a genuine school from the first settlers. It had only one classroom that took up the entire building. The foyer had a wooden pole fence in front that must have been used to corral kids in the classroom and keep them there. It was complete with authentic old desks that they actually used. There was old chalkboards up front as well. On top of the fence was a giant pane of glass that the park constructed to keep viewers out of the room. I thought this was semi-interesting and started cleaning. That's when I noticed that the air had suddenly dropped at least 10 to 20 degrees Fahrenheit. I could actually see my breath. That's when I looked up and noticed that glass was all fogged up in front of me. I then watched in horror as First a few at a time, then hundreds of tiny handprints etched their way onto the glass from the other side. That was enough for me. I bolted out of the building as fast as I could. Why is this stuff starting up again? Since my childhood experiences, I had written everything off to being a dumb kid and remembering things wrong. I really didn't want to lose my job, and so I gingerly locked the door to that damn building. I realized at that point that I was still clutching the mop with white knuckles. It was a good thing, too, because there was no way I was going back in there. Nothing much else happened in the park until one day I read on the card 5 p.m. to close, section 4C. It felt like the pit of my stomach was being ripped out. Should I quit now? No, I must have been imagining things last time. Don't be a wimp, I told myself. This time, I was assigned to clean the antique store. It was filled with knickknacks on various shelves that were similarly glassed off as the school was. One row of shelves had old tonics, elixirs, and various medicines. They were in the original bottles. As I cleaned, I finally got to one of the back shelves. The second I saw it, I knew this was not good. It was filled with those old-time dolls that used to be all the rage. They were all miniature girls sitting on the shelves. I'm just going to finish cleaning and get the hell out of here, I thought. That's when I noticed something peculiar about them. They were all facing away from me on the shelf. Why would you put up these horrific displays and not have the dolls facing the onlookers? I had to finish it up as it was getting late and my boss didn't like to be kept waiting. I mopped up that last section without incident. When I looked up, however, I jumped in surprise. All the dolls were now facing me, and the one the farthest to the left actually just finished swiveling her head, just as before I booked it out of there. I bet you're thinking I quit at this point. Of course I didn't. I was just thick-skulled and stubborn as any teenager. All of my friends worked here now, and some of my coworkers were cute girls that would hang out after their shifts were over. The final event at the park, and subsequently my last night working there, was when I was cleaning the old saloon. It was equipped with a bar, of course, a piano, and a dance hall. Or maybe some people just congregated in the open area. I had no idea. Behind the bar, there was an assortment of old drawers. As I dusted the top of the bar, I get a sickly, uneasy feeling. I felt something was not right. Looking down, I saw one of the drawers were ajar. I knew I shouldn't, but I just had to. I opened the drawer and found a piece of paper with a pen next to it. What was odd was the paper was brand new, and so was the pen. This was not part of the exhibit. What I read on that piece of paper shocked me to my core. I'm not going to write here exactly what was said in it, as it was too personal. It was a detailed suicide note written in my handwriting. There was no signature at the bottom. That was the final straw. Had I written this? Am I going mad? I had not been suicidal at all, and I didn't remember writing anything like this before. Had whatever I summoned up in my childhood followed me here? I don't know if I'll ever get answers to those questions. I stormed out of the building, lit the paper on fire, and quit the next day.
That is wild. That took a wild turn.
That's spooky. That is super spooky. I will say, so I don't know what park this was at.
Yeah.
However, there was a portion of the Six Flags that I went to growing up that had a Westerner section, which obviously it's not the same park because the park that I went to was like massive, obviously, and it was in a big town, so it's not anything small. But they had a little Western town with like historical buildings, and they also would do little gun shootouts like as shows during the day. So that is really interesting and would be really spooky.
I'm trying to think. There's a place, I don't remember if it was in Texas or New Mexico because I lived right on the border. But yeah, they had like a little old West town and they would have the gunfights in the square.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, in my head, I'm like, oh yeah, that would be such a cool place to work. Not after that story, dear God.
No. There was another place that we went to. It wasn't a theme park, but when we were growing up, we went to this like little reenactment town essentially that had old buildings that they had like moved over. And it wasn't a theme park, so it's not the same place, but it was really creepy because you like walk through and they had actors like dressed up. Yeah, I can't imagine like being 15 and my boss being like, hey, go into that old building by yourself. I know it's dark outside, and I know it's dark in there, but just go clean it by yourself.
You got it, right?
Yeah.
Mop it.
No, you're 15. You know how to hold a broom.
Yeah, you got this,
Yeah.
right?
But, I mean, at all the theme parks I worked at, like, every single one of them, the working age, like, the starting working age is 15.
Gotcha.
And they hire 15 at the in New Jersey, you can actually work when you're 14 as long as you have a letter saying that you're able to.
Gotcha.
So we also had like 14-year-olds that worked in New Jersey.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like always really weird because you do feel a little bit like more protective over those like younger kids because you're like, you shouldn't be working. Mm-hmm. Like, I know that you shouldn't be working. The government doesn't care, obviously, because they love child labor.
Yeah.
But I know you shouldn't be here. I know you shouldn't be working. So I'm not going to put you in a position where you're going to be in danger.
Right.
So I'm not going to, like, leave you by yourself in a old spooky stand that's dark.
No, I'm not going to treat you like you're grown because you're not.
You're not. You're a child.
Yeah.
You are a child.
Yeah.
So I'm not gonna make you do anything that I wouldn't even want to do. Right? Like I'm not gonna want to go.
Especially not alone.
No. If I'm gonna go into an old like building that could be haunted, I'm gonna want somebody to come with me.
Yeah.
The hands on the plexiglass, that would have been it for
enough.
me.
That would have been way more than enough to get me out of there.
Like tiny little children's hands.
Multiple, not just one little hand, like hands all over. Absolutely not. Also, they're like, I'm glad I was holding the broom because I didn't want to go back in there. I was like, yeah, no, I would have left it. I would have been gone.
Yeah, I would have.
I probably wouldn't have locked the door.
No. Yeah, that.
No, fuck that.
And then what was the second one that they went to? So they went to the schoolhouse, and then they went,
and then antique store with the dolls.
The antique. Okay, so that. The dolls reminded me of the movie, like whenever in Hell House LLC. I don't know if you remember that part where like he goes into the basement and he's like, oh, look at all these clowns, like ha ha ha, and he's like filming himself, and then like he like turns the camera and he turns it back and all the clowns are facing towards him.
Yeah. So I've been thinking about, you brought up a couple episodes ago, your concept of like having haunted houses, but it's like a more normal spot. Yeah. So yeah, something like that where like you're at JC Penney's and you're just like shopping or whatever, and then all the heads just like
all the mannequins. Yeah, all the mannequins like turn their heads and start staring at you.
Yeah.
That would be,
they're people in morph suits and then they chase you.
Or like people come out and from underneath the racks, like how you did like when you're kids, you play underneath the racks. I had a friend when I worked in Wisconsin who, as a kid, was playing in the racks, and they came out and a hanger prod got caught in their eye. So their eye was just like, I didn't know that was an option. Yeah, so their eye was just like a little off.
Yeah. I thought you were going to say their eye was soup. So a little off is, I think, the best case scenario.
The best case scenario, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so,
terrifying. Yeah. I hate that. I'm going to be thinking about that later.
Well, good thing you're not running around inside of clothing racks anymore.
That is what I was going to do with my day.
Oh, well, plan foiled. Sorry, you find something else to do.
Do you imagine that's what I do in my spare time? You, like, go shopping and you're just like, hey, Jazzy, what are you doing there?
Yeah, like, the racks are, like, rustling, and I'm kind of scared. I'm like, oh, my God, what's in there? And you just, like, bob your head out, and you're like, hey, nice to see you.
I'm going to go back in.
Honestly, I feel like that would be a really comfortable, like, hiding spot. Like, for me, I really like little spaces where it's, like, dark and quiet, you know? So I would like that, but, yeah. That would have been it for me, too. If the hands weren't enough, the dolls all turning to face me at the same time. Yeah. So I have that doll in my room, you know?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, I love her. Love her. One thing I don't love about her, though, is that when I go to the bathroom in the middle of the night sometimes, I come out, and I have turned her head to face the window.
Yeah,
because multiple times I've walked out and she's like made eye contact with me as I'm like getting back into bed. I'm like,
good thing you already peed.
Yeah, I'm like, girl, I don't don't want you to watch me in the middle of the night. So I turned her head, but I have noticed that it's like a little bit more like centered again.
Gotcha.
And that could just be like
how she's like built. Maybe.
A plethora of things. It could be a plethora of things. So I'm not gonna jump to like I'm not gonna jump to like it's like haunted because I don't get that kind of like vibe from her. But
maybe it's like Naja and her dolly.
Yeah. I have a familiar, but she's my dolly. Mm-hmm. Yeah, but she looks nothing like me.
No, we need to get her a wig. But great Halloween costume.
That would be, Naja would be it would be kind of hard though.
Yeah.
That's something that we like are talking about is we want like easier costumes. Yeah. Which is why I'm like, Baphomet could be hard or easy. I don't know.
Yeah, I think depending on how hard he goes into it.
Yeah.
You could get like the fur fabric and honestly just like make like chaps out of them.
Yeah.
And then just wear pants under it.
I was like, don't wear anything underneath it.
And a little tail.
Just ass out. You said
what's
you like
the
Mr.
tail
Tumnus.
attached to?
Oh. That's coming out of somewhere.
You make it out of the beads. There's a reason you got them. The universe is
you're so right.
Know.
We just cover the beads in hair. Because I imagined, like, they start, like, jingling on the piano, right? Mm-hmm. So they start, like, playing on the piano. But the note, it makes me think that the like, ghosts were like, hey, we're gonna do this to you, and nobody will know that it was us because we wrote a letter.
Yeah.
Yeah, that I would have quit
in their
too.
Handwriting. Oh.
Yeah, I would have quit too.
That's absolutely horrifying,
especially with all the personal details like that.
Yeah, that's not a ghost.
No, that's not a ghost.
That's not a ghost.
That's not a ghost. Yeah,
I don't know what that is, but that's Casper. Absolutely not.
No, that's a demon. No. I know what it is. That's a demon. No, so. No. Did you know that and we might have talked about this before, but did you know that if somebody is about to die on an amusement park property, especially like the bigger amusement parks like Disney, Six Flags, stuff like that, they will take the person and take them off property so they don't die on property, so they don't have to say like this person died here. They died at the hospital.
So to bring up the show Ghosts, one of the things like if you die in an area, you're bound to that area. So if you die in a car, you're a car ghost, house ghost.
Yeah.
So if you die just outside of Disneyland, you can't go in Disneyland.
No,
but you're really
stuck
close
at the
to
entrance.
It. That sucks, dude. You're like, you could have been riding all the rides.
Stuck forever just staring at the entrance of Disney.
Yeah. Shitty
you don't get a pretzel. You don't get any cotton candy.
Yep.
You just
Yep.
all day. But anyway,
like, looks like fun, guys.
I hope you guys are having a great time in there.
You know, I now understand why you talk so poorly about amusement parks.
Yeah, they truly can be terrifying and not in a fun way.
I am going to automatically think every scream is from a ghost and not a writer.
But don't worry, like we said, if anyone dies, at least it's off property. No one's trying to get sued around here, so... But you know what we are trying to do? Get more listeners. So make sure you like, comment, subscribe, share all of our socials. Our _the pod. You can find us on any listening platform. And if you would like to share your own story, please email us at whatwasthat.thepod@gmail.com.
Speaking of Disney, did you hear about the lady on the Haunted Mansion ride the other day?
I did, and it's actually really sad. So the story is... Wait, what was that?